Okay, and we are joined here, Freedom 92.9, just as thrilled as can be. We've got Rockin' Terry Lee here, going to be talking to us here in the Freedom 92.9 studios. The Rock-A-Boogie Band going to be at the Holiday coming up next week, next Thursday, April 28th. Tickets still available. You can get those at the front desk at the Holiday or on events.com. It is going to be a great show. Good morning, Rockin' Terry Lee. How are you today?
Good morning, Mike. I'm enjoying this beautiful morning.
It's nice outside. We're approaching 60 degrees, sunshine, so can't beat it at all.
No, definitely not. Definitely not.
Okay, Rockin' Terry Lee, we all know what a great show you put on, what a great tour you're on. Month of April, we're going to talk about that a little later in the show, but you're actually from the London, England area.
Yeah, that's correct. I was born in Enfield, Middlesex, which is just a suburb of London, and then when I was about 6 or 7 years of age, we moved to a little town on the southeast coast called Southend-on-Sea, and it's a little seaside resort, and I was raised there, so I kind of got a half London, half Essex accent, I guess you could say.
Well, I say that, you got your first piano at the age of 9 and started playing professionally at the age of 15.
Yeah, I've been playing professionally now for more than 10 years. Yeah, it seems to have gone by pretty quick.
Well, who was, I'm sure you grew up listening to a lot of great British music over in England. Who were some of your early influences?
Well, my dad used to be a DJ. Back in the day when you had to carry around a couple of thousand, records,
yes.
records. And I used to go to some of his performances for parties and weddings and whatnot and sit back there and clean the records. And the songs that had the beat were the ones that really woke me up. The Elvis and the Chuck Berry and that kind of stuff. And Elvis was a real big influence on me. A real big influence. And even from about the age of 4 or 5, I used to sing Elvis at parties and karaoke when we was on holiday and that kind of stuff. And but I never really did get into playing the guitar. And my parents bought me the piano, and then I heard Jerry Lee Lewis about the age of 10 or 11. And that was it. I was hooked. The Elvis records went in the cupboard, and it was all Jerry Lee from that point on.
You were a hard piano pumper from that day on, huh?
Yeah, as hard as I could be. It takes a little bit of time to get up to speed with the killer, and I don't think I'm even halfway there yet, but we just try our best,
Oh, absolutely. Hey, that's a tough act to follow.
Yeah, definitely. And I get lots of fantastic compliments from the people that come to see the show. But, I always tell them, hey, if I can just get 25% of what Jerry had, then I think I'm blessed.
Oh, absolutely. Well, and then you came over here to the States. Boy, that had to be quite a shock and quite a move for you.
It was, the hardest thing was leaving my family in England. That was definitely the hardest thing. And, I miss my family, my mum and dad and my sister, every day. But it was a move that I had to make for, my future. My mum always used to tell me when I was growing up, she said, go get a life, son, you got to do what you need to do. And then when I did it, she was shocked because I'd actually been listening to her for all those years. So,
yeah.
But no, I moved over here when I was 18 years of age. I've met a fantastic Vincent's girl on the music chat room. Funnily enough, we had a lot in common, and we talked on the internet for over a year. And I visited here. She came to England for 4 weeks. Ended up staying for 6 weeks, and then it wasn't too long before I came over, and we got married, and I stayed permanently, and been here ever since. So.
Yeah. Well, I want to stress, for everybody and everybody make it out next Thursday night to the Holiday because, it's not only a musical show, it is a full performance, and some of the genres of music you cover, not only some great Elvis and Jerry Lee, but you do some new and classic country, some rockabilly, popular 60s hits.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's music, but we're not just a band. It's entertainment. We can play to sit-down audiences in the opera houses and the theatres. We can play to just a strictly dance crowd. And then we can also play to the half and half, where you've got half people that just want to watch the show and the half that want to dance. The show is very versatile. And as you said, it's not just the one genre. We don't just do 1950s rock and roll. We do touch on a little bit of the popular 60s, and then we do an awful lot of the classic country as well. That sadly you really don't get to hear too much on the radio anymore, such as, Marty Robbins and Jim Reeves and Hank Williams Sr., Ray Price, those kind of people. Good old honky-tonking music. Really, it's got a story to tell and a great shuffling beat.
Absolutely, and we want to warn everybody that's going to make it out to the show, whether you're a dancer or not, you better wear your toe-tapping shoes, because you're going to be wore out from tapping to that great music.
Well, that's the thing, yeah. If everybody's watching the show, I can guarantee their feet will be tapping, and they'll be singing along to the songs. I'll have them singing along to the songs.
Yes, I saw your performance, and yes, you do. Get everybody involved.
Oh, well, thank you very much. We just want to have fun. We want to get people out and forget their worries, even if it's just for a couple of hours, and just have a good time. That's what it's all about. Just let me take away your worries and your cares, and just have a real good time. You don't have to worry about anything. It's just about having fun for a couple of hours.
Yes, absolutely. And, boy, you've played some huge places. Rockin' Terry, most, acclaimed performances at the Hornsby Rock and Roll Weekender, the Ace Cafe in London. How about some of those big places you played?
Yeah, it's been a real honor to play some of the big places, especially, those kind of places. I could have only been about 17 years of age when I played those rock and roll festivals in England, because, 50s rock and roll is huge in England, and there's clubs all over the country where people bring their English and American classic cars. They come all dressed up, in the 50s clothes, and there's always 50s bands playing, and I kind of cut my teeth playing to those crowds, which was great. And then when I moved over, the first performance I ever did over here was in Memphis, Tennessee, at the Overton Park Shell in 2003, on August the 15th. That was for Elvis Week. Obviously, that was the night that the celebration of Elvis's passing. And I walked out on the Overton Park Shell stage, and I looked out into the audience, and there must have been 2,000 people with Elvis wigs on and glasses and everything else. That was quite surreal. There was all Elvis bands, and Jerry Lewis's band actually backed me on that show, and that was a real thrill. Right. And then, playing with the Rock-A-Boogie Band, 3 fine musicians. Mr. Herb Rock's been playing for 50 years. He's a walking songbook. Jackie Harden, he's from Nashville, Indiana, and he's just got music talent running through his veins, and he played at the Little Nashville Opry, playing for all of the stars that came through there. And Mr. Wayne Collins, an amazing drummer. He's just a beat machine that's been playing ever since, he was about 15 years of age. He used to play in a lot of the honky-tonks, and, I don't even think he could see above the drums when he first started playing in his band. So, it's real experienced musicians. But, it's an honor that people enjoy the show, and we have been privileged to play, the Indiana State Fair. This will be our 4th year at the State Fair. We play a lot of the casinos, such as Casino Astor. We're regulars up at the Booth City Opry, and, we play as locally as we can, and then we'll go as far as we can. I mean, we've even been booked to play at the Surf Ballroom in Clear Lake, Iowa this year, where Buddy Holly, Richie Valance, and the Big Bopper did their last performance. So that's one of the nice things about playing music, is you get to travel around, you get to meet some fantastic people and play some real historical venues, and I think you can't beat it.
Yes, and you want to let all the great listeners out there know you've worked with Bill Haley's Original Comets on the UK tour. That had to be exciting.
Yes, and my wife, then my girlfriend, was visiting England, so that was a real treat for her to come out. She got to see me perform, and then to have the Original Comets get up and do their show. That was quite amazing. Yeah, that really was.
I couldn't imagine. Well, and you've also, you've played it just in the last couple of years. Played the Indiana State Fair, the Ohio State Fair, like you mentioned, the Casino Astor, French Lick Resort and Casino, and the Little Nashville Opry. So pretty big places there, Terry Lee.
Yeah, as I said, it's a real honour for people to enjoy our show, to come out and see us. We play down at Casino Astor every couple of months, and we have that Hoosiers Lounge full of people. And it's not just dancers, it's people that just want to sit down and have a, Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday night out. And, I can't explain the feeling of just getting up on the stage and seeing everybody from 3 years of age, 93 years of age, just sat there with a smile on their face. And even some of the kids that, might think that the 50s rock and roll is a little bit kind of, not with it, a bit unfashionable. By the time I start playing Great Balls of Fire, kick the piano stool back and start jumping around on the piano, usually they're smiling and cheering along. So it's just a universal, the 50s rock and roll is just that everybody knows, Johnny B. Good or Bruce Wayne Hughes, Great Balls of Fire. You can't beat those songs.
Not at all. Never, even though we're a country station, we still play those songs here because everybody loves them.
And that's the thing right there. It's you got to give the people what they want, and I always say, if you want to hear a band, then go out, a tavern or something like that. But if you want to come and see some entertainment, come and see Terry Lee and the Rock A Boogie Band, and you will be entertained.
You're going to be entertained and probably worn out by the end of the night because it is a performance.
Well, we try our best, and I don't really try and plan anything. I try and plan the songs out, pick out some songs where I think people will enjoy, but it's always spontaneous. If people follow out the odd tune here and there, and we know them, then we've been known to go into those songs, and audience participation, we get people singing along and joining in with some of the songs and whatnot, and as I said, it's just an authentic 1950s rock and roll show. You can't beat it.
Absolutely not, and want to let our listeners know, try to make it out to the holiday on the 28th. I was just looking over some of the dates you've already played in April and going to be playing, and, Rockin' Terry Lee, been in Indianapolis, been in Bloomington, Indiana, again, been, of course, over at Vincennes, been in Lucasville, Ohio, North Vernon, Indiana, Terre Haute, Indiana, so quite a schedule. So we're really looking forward to having you here in Olney, Illinois.
Yeah, and I'd like to plug my webpage if I can, because then people can go on, listen to some music, check out some pictures. We all do come dressed in the suits and bowling shirts and whatnot. We're a 100% professional band. And my webpage is rockinterrylee.com. And there's music on there, there's schedule, and you can there's also contact information for the holiday on April 28th. The phone number, etc. and so forth. So yeah, definitely go on, reserve your tickets early. It's really going to be a killer night.
Absolutely, and that is rockingterrylee.com. I have been there, and it's a great website, and you're gonna learn a lot about Rockin' Terry Lee and what a performance it is. Well, thank you very much, Rockin' Terry Lee, for calling in this morning and filling us in on your great musical career.
Well, thank you, Mike, and thank you for having me on your show, and you have a fantastic day. God bless you.
You too, and we are going to leave our listeners with a little taste of Rockin' Terry Lee, Great Balls of Fire.
Thank you.
You shake my nerves and you rattle my brain. Too much I love and that's a man sing. Come my will, what a thrill. Goodness gracious, great balls of fire. Great balls of fire. Kiss me, baby. Woo, it feels good. Hold me, baby. Well, you let me love you like a lover should. You're fine, so kind. Gonna tell us that you're mine. A little bit of nothing, but it sure is fun. Come on, baby, where you drive me crazy. Gonna need some raise, great balls of fire.